Hello, right. Hopefully you found me on BitChute and I wanted to give you an update. Had to be very careful on the YouTube one. They have sent me a warning, going to be deplatformed. Straight, I don't have any adverts. I've never monetized my channel at all. So it was quite difficult, I think, for them. But we have had the figures out and they are losing thousands and thousands of subscribers and thousands of viewers, which equates to billions of dollars in lost revenue, because you know yourself on YouTube, it's one advert after another, and that client base or that customer base ain't there any longer. It's moved away. So the advertisers will begin to get a bit cute and say this isn't so good. So actually this action that many of these social media companies are doing, which we know is disgraceful, is financially affecting them, and that's what free market is all about. So let's talk quickly about that, and I'll address some of the perhaps more important points. But I do want to say this, that we've noticed that Germany, Angela Merkel, was the Prime Minister of Mexico, the French President, a number of other leading men and women in countries have come forward to attack certain social media platforms for pushing the interestingly and not surprisingly, Angela Merkel, if you think Germany's history with Nazi Germany and how under the Nazis all media was censored, disgusting and dreadful, and I think Angela Merkel is looking at what's happening in America and saying she has to speak out, because the connection between oppression in one country of many years ago and what appears to be oppression in this time now is too close, and she's forced to speak. So that's good that she's done that. Right, now then, so many people were expecting the speech at the Alamo, at the wall, to be, the rallying call. We are going to send the tanks in, we're going to take this person down, take that person down. And when he didn't do that, there was a lot of anticlimax. A lot of people felt let down. He mentioned Biden, thought that meant win. Look, lots of people watching that didn't get it, but I tell you who did get it: the journalists. I want to show you, this is a British newspaper. I'm going to hold it up to you. They, for the last 4 weeks, have not covered at all. You find him on page 20, a small little article saying how bad he is. Look at this, the front page of a major British newspaper. It says, Trump makes the wall his Alamo. So somebody in a major British newspaper has understood what saying in between the lines by delivering a speech, and it wasn't addressed to the nation because everyone was supposed to be able to listen to it. He did that, and it wasn't lost on that journalist, but unfortunately lots and lots of people it was lost on. They didn't get the connection. Maybe people who are not American don't really connect what happened in the Alamo with the Texans against the Mexicans and the Patriots against the bigger force. We're getting reports of power outages in different locations. We've only had one report of some areas in California. That just could be domestic issues, we don't know, but we certainly have had outages in major areas of other countries. And what I was told was that the first actions would take place outside of America, because it was okay in America because they've got it sewn up, if you like. The good guys had got it under control, but there were activities in other countries. And we know what happened in Germany. We're learning about Italy, and so it's not surprising that maybe those countries have to have certain issues or certain actions. Right, I spoke to some of my contacts last night, and I said, your people, that's the American people, your people are getting very restless. They want some action. They're not actually necessarily want to see tanks on the streets, but some people do. But they want to have the news that some of the mainstream media has been taken down, that some of the key names have been charged or arrested, that, you know, that there is real in-your-face action. Now, what I got back was very interesting, which was that we can't afford to change the timetable. The messages I got were, we're not going to change the timetable to suit what people want. We have to go by what we've got here, this schedule, this agenda, the way we're working it. Some people were quite understanding. I spoke to a few people. Some people were quite understanding and said, you know, look, you know, we do understand, we appreciate it, it's really difficult. And other people were like saying, you know, just tell them to shut up, because we've got to concentrate 100% on this. You know, we know how big this is, and we've got to play it properly, and we don't need to be distracted. And I said, look, you just need to know that there's a great feeling in many countries, not just America, that people want to see something happening. And so, you know, I made that point on all of our behalves. I made it quite strongly, and I made it rationally as well. So they're very aware that, and they'll be getting this fed in from others as well, not just from me. There'll be lots of others feeding it back, and they know that. In fact, one of them person actually said, and I hope I'm not going to get into trouble for this, one person actually said to me, we're in danger of being derailed on our program because of the pressure coming from the people. We're in danger of being derailed because of the pressure coming from people. In other words, what I was saying was the agenda. In other words, there's a push, political push, to do something to feed the demands of the domestic audience. You know, that's really interesting that the pressure is getting right up to the administration. You have got to do something just to show that, you know, you're not just going to roll over and die. And I think that's the problem. Look, just because mentions the B name, Mr. Biden, or anything else, it doesn't mean that he's, you know, how many more times is I don't concede. That's again what one of my contacts said to me, you know, how many more times has he got to say he's not conceding, you know? So we have got that. It's a week to go. It's a week to go. And, you know, we are looking at these two scenarios. My favorite scenario is the president being resat for 4 years in a swearing in on the 20th. That is my preferred option. And there is another option where a military is called an interregnum is brought in, and nobody gets sworn in on the 20th. And that period maybe lasts for 3 months. And in that 3-month period, there is not a United States in terms of a new sitting, but the original president continues on, and the security of the nation of the United States is secure. It's still protecting its borders, still watching other countries. There's no breakdown in like that. And during that interregnum, that is when you might see those arrests. And when that's done, then that can come forward. You know, and I've said that back in 2016-17, that if he went ahead, and the military were quite prepared to do that and take down, they would have reduced the capacity to govern by 70%, which would have meant a complete breakdown. And so they realized that they'd have to build up, they'd have to have people in positions ready to roll. And that's what they've been doing for 4 years. So that if you take out certain key players, you can't necessarily promote, because the person below may be bad, and the person below that person may be bad. So they have to work out what they've got. And it's a bit like when you get rot in a building, you knock all the bricks out or knock all the wood out, you get down to the good sound material. That's what they're going to do. And then they've got, I don't think they've got enough people, but maybe they've got enough to keep it ticking over in the short term. And they can bring these people in. Maybe there's some process that you can be sworn in as a I don't know, as a senator. for a period of time and then go seek. That's the great thing about the good guys, the white hats, is they don't want a military. All they want is a military holding period to clear it out and then hand it back to the public. The United States military do not seek to run the country. They don't. What they seek is to have a country they're proud of, and you American people are proud of, and us outside of America looking in at you guys, we're proud of. So I'm saying to you that nothing that I'm getting has changed any of what's going on. As hard as it is for us all to accept, you never, ever, ever broadcast the most sensitive information. You don't do it. You do not, because the more you pass it on, the more easily it can be intercepted and the more easily it can be got. Now, we saw on Fox, they were covering Trump's speech at the Alamo, and he'd been speaking about a quarter into his talk, and they very disrespectfully and very rudely, in my view, cut and went straight to the DOJ. So they couldn't be accused of not covering because they didn't feel they could cut the president and then go show cartoons, but they disrespectfully cut and it went across. And then I wrote, I did do this as an email actually because it's not sensitive, and I just said, look, what do you think of Fox now? And reply, and I explained, because I don't think the person was actually in the Alamo, so they weren't actually looking at the Fox broadcast because they were out of camera shot, with the border patrol. And no, it wasn't an email, I must have done a text, but anyway, it doesn't matter. And the response came back was, lol, they're all evil anyway. Lol, they're all evil anyway. And this other person on occasion has said to me, they're all coming down. So it may anger us that they're doing this, but those people who are planning the counter stuff, planning how they're going to do it, they've expected it. It's been projected forward. Here's one thing that I didn't know. I have to stress that the information I've been given is it's not certified. And when I say certified, I've not been given it as direct. This is accurate. I've been told that the information is pointing that way. And that is that, I'm going to use the American term, flipped California. Now, I remember talking to my contacts about 2 weeks before the election. I think it was 2 weeks. It might have been a bit further. And there was a big gathering in California. And one of my contacts saying to me, wouldn't it be great in California? And I said, yeah, they'd probably win a few areas, but they'd never win all of it. And the reply came back, you think? And that set me wondering, what does this person know? Because they're going to know more than I do. And then I was told last night, actually, when the truth does all come out, you'll find that won in California. Now, that I'm not American, but that is astonishing to overturn a stronghold like that. And that explains why so many people in America are aware of the truth. Because if for the first time in I don't know how many years was to do that. So that's that. There are moves afoot to start up a new political party in America. I think it's Great America. And although it's very fledgling and very small, it will be very interesting to see in the weeks and the months ahead whether this very small fledgling party, Great American Party, actually becomes a sort of a or whether the old lines hold true and they say, well, look, we just clear out all the and we'll just put new men and new women in and we'll start it. I haven't a clue, but I think it's interesting that there's a grassroots movement to create a party that cannot be identified with a color, an elephant or a donkey, or whether you're pro-big business or pro-trade unions, or whether you support China or whether you think China's a threat. It just says it, doesn't it? Great America. So that's what's happening. There are some big changes that are occurring which nobody's reporting on, because the millions of people in America are perhaps now beginning to think, where do we go from here? So please don't lose faith. If you've ever met the president, then you would know that he's a man of honor and integrity, and he's a fighter. He's not going to give in easily. And what would all the American generals, what would all the military do? Having come this far, and I talked about 1963 previously, and the loss of that great. Why would you give all that up? Years and years and years of struggle to get to this point, to break the American people free. Why in the name of the Lord would you say, oh, that's fine, then we've been completely cheated electorally wise? It doesn't matter. I tell you what we'll do, we'll just go back and we'll just get on with life. That's what these corrupt politicians do, They shrug their shoulders and they say, yeah, but I'm in for another 4 years, or I'm in for another 2 years. And by that time, the public will have forgotten all about this and their life just goes on. That is the Washington, where all these people care about is the next paycheck and the next meeting, and do I go here, do I go there, what do I say, what do I not say? That's their world. They don't think anymore, they just do what they're told, and they're not caring about the real America. So I can't see anybody around him saying, yeah, we're beat, throw the towel in, it's all over. I can't see that. Not when we understand what's also happening around the globe, and basically laid it on the line to Iran last couple of days. There's been airstrikes, Israeli airstrikes into Syria against Iranian positions. Whether we agree with that or not, that's not my point. My point is that Iran had a role to play in the, and Iran is on the receiving end. China's on the receiving end. I think at some point there will be a more intense sort of looking at, got to be careful, looking at with China. Russia, you must have noticed how quiet they are, absolutely gone quiet. So certain leaders know what's coming. And you've picked up on the way that some people are now saying that, the big, they call them the big tech, the big corporations, the way they're behaving is wrong. Well, why are they suddenly turning on the big tech? Why are they publicly coming out and making statements? Might it be that they know what's coming? So just to make it clear, because good point, he said that Britain was some part to play in this very nasty trickery, and I think that it's possibly elements of MI6. We know the vast majority of these people are actually good, but there's a small core of them that are not good. So I just want to make it clear that if it's anyone, it's not going to be it'll be elements of MI6, which I think were complicit with the Italian situation. So that'll be interesting to see how the new America, let's call it that, the new America is going to deal with Great Britain. Is this amazing relationship that we keep on hearing about, is it going to survive? Or will there be a change in the way that our relationship works? And I honestly haven't the clue to that and the answer to that. So what I'm saying to you is that we've still got a week to go. There will be some action. And as I made clear, we, the public, want to see something that you can't dismiss. We want to see something that actually shows us that there's a real fight back, not some court case, because we know they're not going to go anywhere under the present circumstance. And God bless people. I mean that sincerely. I'm not being rude. I mean, God bless. They took it as far as they could take it. But if the system is not going to let you share that information, then what can you do? You have a bucket load of facts and truth, but if you're not allowed to spread that out on the table and let people look at it and make their own mind up, then your usefulness is limited. Remember that military lawyer, so any courts martials that might come up, if she wants, she's got an exciting role to play in that. And a very passionate man who believes strongly in God and believes in the truth, and will tell everyone and anybody what's been going on. And sometimes we have to be a bit calmer, because this is a game of chess that requires a quantum computer to make those moves in response to the moves that we already know the other side are going to make. So people like a tremendous job in getting the information through other networks out to the public. That's what they did marvelous. So those state legislatures, what they did was they told people who took the trouble to watch what had gone on. It actually didn't matter much if the state didn't do what they should have done and what they were empowered to do by the Constitution in their own state and the Constitution of the United States. The fact was that those hearings were watched by millions of people and are allowed ordinary Americans to grasp and come to terms with the terrible evil that had been done. I think the good guys already knew that this was never going to go to court. I think they had more hope for SCOTUS. I think they thought the Supreme Court would be a bit more helpful, and I think they were surprised surprised in the sense that he wouldn't allow anything to come through. I think they thought they might have got one of those hearings from Texas in. So don't imagine the good guys running around the room pulling their hair out saying, what do we do next? What do we do next? I've seen videos that have been sent to me of informal moments, semi-informal, with his aides around him, supporters, close team, military people, and in all of the clips that I've seen, there isn't a single moment where any of them look like they're in desperate. They are actually playing a game, and as a person said to me, and I can use this I'm sure, this person said to me, Simon, why would we interfere when the other side is hanging itself? Why? This is what this person said to me. Why would we interfere when the other side is hanging itself? In other words, they're just destroying themselves, and we're watching, and when the moment's right, we will make our move. So that's what I wanted to say to you. So, I can only report to you what I am given. I'm not a researcher. I don't go looking from website to website, collect it all up and speak to you. I meet people, I don't have a secure link my side, but the other side has a secure link. And I get information from different sources. Hello. I get information from different sources, and that I can then pass on to you. And the other side, the good side, know that that's what I'm doing. That's why they're passing me the information. They want that information to come out. Sometimes the information is just about to happen. Sometimes it's not yet happened. Sometimes it's already just happened. And I'm very grateful for any information they give me. And also they say to me sometimes, you can't say this. And if I was to say it, I would never get any more information from them. So, I have to follow that rule because I want to be in the position to pass on quality information to you. As I say, I don't research. I don't have the time, because of the time difference. We've got connections 9 hours away. The East Coast is 4 or 5 hours away. So actually, we don't actually sleep very much in this house at the moment. My cats certainly don't sleep very much. Say hello, you. Hello. Looks like a bat, doesn't he? Or a bear. His name is actually Stormbjorn, Big Bear. So it does look like a bear. Go and say hello. looks a bit like a pear, hence his name. So we're working hard. Okay, I'm not digging holes in roads and filling them in, or working in an office or working in a bank. I'm not doing anything like that. I am constantly pushing people to give me information. What can I say? When can I release it? Okay, let me read this back to you. Is that okay? Were you okay with that? Okay, that's what I do. So if you see a donate button, I'll be very grateful. Let's keep this show on the road, please. Because clearly YouTube want me off, and I'm certainly going to be leaving WhatsApp because they're going to get me off very quickly. I'm going to go to Telegram, and I think that's what. So listen, just keep the faith. Don't get too shocked or upset with what you hear. Most of it is lies, and just wait. We've only got 1 week to go. Let's see what happens. Okay, thanks a lot. Take care.